Yay! Hey, everyone. Welcome to Magic Monday. I'm Wisdom Seeker Joan, and I'm thrilled to be here with my friends Terri Suzuki of kigaruspiritualjourneys and SunPsychic Jean. How are you doing, ladies?
I'm doing great. How about you, Jean?
Wonderful.
I'm doing great as well. And it's so nice to be back on this Magic Monday together. I was looking forward to it all weekend.
Yes, it's always a highlight. I just enjoy working with you so much and seeing our friends in the chat here, including Harley, who came first, and Lottie B. Thanks for coming, and Gina M. and Carolyn Adams.
Sorry, that was me.
Oh,
I
okay,
was
whew.
just popping on.
So great. As people come, feel free to put some questions in the chat, and we will see what we can do to answer them. But in the meantime, Terri, I hear that you had a great show with Allie yesterday. Tell us about it.
Oh, I did. It was just, my regular Sunday show. I'm like every other day on Sunday. And it was just fun. It was really some good, really deep readings, some really challenging questions. I like that. And one thing that was really very cool is everybody remembered to put in the name of the person they wanted to talk to and the
Nice.
relationship. Nobody had to go back for anything, so it's like, yay, we can just plow ahead fast. So we actually ended up answering a lot of questions because we kind of didn't have to go back and get people or get names or anything like that, and so it was really fun. We did one Akashic record reading, and the rest were all psychic medium readings. So it was fun.
But I hear that you and Allie were kind of hitting on all cylinders, both
Yes,
kind of reinforcing each other's readings and things. That's always fun.
yes, it is. You're talking about the psychic bounce, which is something we three often do, where one of us starts, but then all of us are starting to get kind of a similar message, but with different pictures. So that was the same thing. I was getting stuff, I was just saying it, and over in the other little square, Allie's like freaking out, wanting like, I got angels too.
That's always so fun. And Jean, what's happening with you these days?
I am going back to doing my pendulum questions, my series on asking your questions using my pendulum. And I have some really interesting questions and some pet questions because you never know what the pet must be thinking or seeing. And can our pets see our deceased loved ones? And if they do they realize that they're deceased? You know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's a good question.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I love that series. I love watching that.
There's a lot of really good questions, and I try to build on that question, and other questions pop in, but sometimes it's just it is what it is. So, but you never know what you're going to get, and sometimes I'm surprised at the response that I'm getting from my pendulum.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's fun because, when I'm using my pendulum, I'm also connecting and listening. And sometimes I can hear what they're saying as well as the pendulum. So
mhm.
it's fun. It's a fun thing
Well,
to
I
do.
like it. When we're doing this and we say, "Oh, we're going to go to our pendulum," we really only get to ask one or two, maybe up to five questions, depending on if it's a date thing. But I love watching you work with your pendulum, just going pell-mell ahead, asking question after question after question. It's amazing. I really like that.
Well, what's really amazing is I talk about this all the time, and I'm not a doctor, and this is not a recommendation. I'm just saying what works for me. I ask my pendulum whether or not I should be taking this supplement anymore. You know how you buy a supplement and it works, and then after a while it's not working. And I have been feeling so good, and I have my supplements that it says no. Sometimes they build up, so I have weight. I write weight on the on the bottle, like don't because I refill
Oh,
them
yeah.
every week. And So then I check them ever so often, and a new one just told me no this past week, and it's just amazing. It's really fun. Hmm.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
So
asking, I just had mine out for myself before the show because I'd made plans to go do something at the end of September and then something else came up and it's like, well, do I cancel or not? And anyhow, got that all cleared up. And after you get the answer, it's like, yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, but didn't really know at the time. So it's nice to have that, just so you're not wasting brain cells going back and forth and putting yourself
mhm.
through that.
It puts your mind at ease, and it's that second opinion. It's that validation that what you wanted to do is the right thing. It's really peace of mind for me.
This is wonderful. Thank you, everybody, for the questions. We'll get started real soon. Heavenly Blessed Honey and Harley and Gina um, and MCB00. Yeah, we'll get going right away. But I was just going to mention too, we appreciate you if you stick around, and I will try to remember to say, well, the next person's going to be this or that. And just let us know that you're here because it makes so much difference to us in reading if you can kind of validate some of what's coming through. So with that, let's start with Lottie B. And then Gina M will be next. Okay. Lottie B, does my father-in-law Philip have a message? Let's see what we can bring in.
The first one sometimes takes a minute, everybody.
Mhm.
We appreciate your patience. So I feel like he's like a dad to you, Lottie B. And I know he's your in-law, but I feel like you looked to him for advice, and he would be sort of, he was very much a father influence, and would, as far as a consultant, sort of like if you guys said, should we buy this house, or should we take this job, or buy this insurance, or whatever it was, he had like a sound advice or advisory or counselor kind of role. I feel like you did look to him and respect his opinion. He didn't meddle, but when you asked, you valued his opinion, and he just said Father Phil. So I feel like he was more of a dad to you throughout your life, and throughout your married life. Um, but somebody who was reliable and supportive. And I don't know if he's saying anything else there. Let me just, if you guys want to go, I'll see if there's any other message.
Well, I'm getting Philip a little. He's very playful with me. He's kind of showing up, and he's showing me this sweep of silver hair, and he's calling himself the Silver Fox. And so I think he must have had a really good sense of humor. I think that he probably brought a little bit to the table here in humor, in being part of the family. He's also showing me like tables, and I don't know how the table, you would look at a table and you wouldn't think it means anything, but what it means to me as he's showing me this is family stability, that you and him and his son and or his, whoever you were married to, had some stability that everybody could count on. They could count on that. But I'm glad you said he was humorous, because he is humorous. I can tell he has a very good sense of humor, and he brings out a little playfulness there that I'm sure was really fun to be around. So that's what I got. Oh, family issues coming up that if he had a message about. Well,
Okay. To do with the stability in the family. Okay. Jean, do you want to go? Or let's see, I need to think a little bit more about the family issues. Okay.
I got a tiny little bit more when she said that he said, always choose love. Always choose love and kindness. The most love, whatever is the result of the most love.
Yeah, it's really difficult sometimes. Go ahead, Joan.
Okay. Let's see. First, the first thing that I was getting was how good it is for him to be out of the body. He um, he said it was like diving uh, into cool water on a hot day, and how refreshing and freeing that feels. So he's really, really glad about that. And then he kept giving me imagery about fishing, like being in a boat. And he said, being here with you guys there, it's like fishing because there's this invisible line, and we know that you know that we're here, but you can't see us clearly. Just like fisher people know that there's fish down there, but you don't know exactly where they are. So it's this matter of connection and knowledge and hope, and there's a different kind of connection. And bringing to mind that fishing is a verb. It's something you do. It's not like, I don't know. There's something about fishing and how a lot of it happens in your mind. And he said that's kind of like the connection that we have from the other side, or that we have here to the people on the other side. So they're connected. And when you said something about the issues in the family, I was still in the rowboat with the fishing rods and things like that. And he said, just cast bread upon the waters. And it's like with other family members, uh, give them the bait. It's like when you have to fish, you think, well, okay, this kind of fish wants this kind of bait, and this kind of fish wants this. What will get you what you want? And it's a win-win situation. Try to resolve the situation by um, kind of giving them a little bit of what they want in a way that you can do. It's like whatever you have in the bait box or whatever. Not everybody likes the worms, but maybe somebody wants the spinners or other things, something like that. But I don't know if you fished, but I'm getting lots of on the water and fishing stuff. So anyhow, what did you get, Jean?
Well, I got that he was advisory, and I feel like he wants you to make the decision that suits you the best. He wants you to be happy. Don't like if it's whether or not he had some sort of a piece of property that you need to sell in order to have money for the family. He's like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about nothing of his is his anymore. Make sure you do what makes your life the easiest or go flow the smoothest. He wants you to be able to support he wants to support the decision that is going to suit you the best, and he doesn't want you to worry about what others might think. He wants you to do what you feel is going to suit you the best at this time. And if it's liquidating anything, I often have the loved ones say that it's like a Monopoly game, that they just close the board and put the lid on and shove it back under the couch because it was really just a game. They don't, it's not really important to them about the material things here. But what is important is that you're happy and that you're growing. So the things that'll keep you flowing, keep the family flowing, that's what's important.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for kind of kicking us off with that question, Lottie B.
Yeah.
And next up here's Gina M. And then Harley, your question will be next. So Gina and Harley, let us know. Yes, Gina's here. Question. I know it seems silly, but I really need some advice on getting a new to me car, gas, diesel, or hybrid. Um, price to spend it is a big purchase. Price to spend it is a big purchase, and I'm a bit nervous about it. I need it by October. Okay.
So I'm just going to go right down the line there for you, Gina. Is it in Gina's best interest to buy a car that uses gas? Is petroleum gas, the regular gas? Yes. Is it in Gina's best interest to buy a car that uses diesel as a fuel? No. Mm-mm. And is it in Gina's best interest to buy a hybrid that uses, yeah, but so both the gas and the hybrid are both in your highest in your interests. So is the gas car a better choice than the hybrid? And it's doing a circle. Is the hybrid car a better choice than the gas? And it's going in a circle. Ooh. Yeah, so I'll let you two ladies.
Go ahead, Joan.
Okay. Well, I got pretty much the same, except I got that no on the diesel, yes on the gas, and iffy on the hybrid, just because it will be more expensive, likely, because those are more in demand. If you can get a good deal on a hybrid, that's fine too. And let me just, is Gina going to get this by October? Yes. Will she be pleased with her purchase? Yes. Will she be confident that she got a good deal? Not right away, but yes. And after you go, I'm going to give you some, Gina, I'll give you some practical advice on buying used cars from my experience, but let's see what you get first, Terri, from
Well,
Spirit.
I got something very short, and so I went to talk to her spiritual team, and they're giving me the idea that she probably has some sort of friend who has some knowledge about cars that she should take with her as she's doing this. So there's somebody in her friend group or family group that can help her a little bit with this. But I too, when I got in there and kind of asked them the energy, got more gas than no diesel, gas and hybrid, but mostly the gas because it's always available right now.
Yeah, there'll be more of them and the prices will probably be better.
Especially with a used car too.
Yeah. And just for buying used cars, lots of people these days want to look out for the Hyundais and the Kias because of the theft problem with those. And anybody who buys a used car, some tricks are always open up all the doors and shake the doors back and forth, because you might hear broken glass. If a car has been in an accident, the glass will break and it stays down inside the door. They don't take out the broken glass. So even that might not show up if somebody didn't, if you didn't run a Carfax on it, which is a good thing to do, that will give you the vehicle's history. Shake all the doors and then open up the hood and look for paint overspray. Like if there was an accident and they had to repaint the fenders, sometimes you'll see more of that color on the inside of the engine compartment, and that can be a hint too. So that's the gas and oil version of the of the program for today. But
Yeah.
let's see.
So Gina just had a quick question. When my pendulum goes in a circle, it's unknown, and it's either more detailed, or I didn't ask the question with enough detail. But it's typically free will, unknown, or I didn't ask the question in enough detail. And what it is free will in this point. But yeah, so it's hard to find a good secondhand vehicle. So if you're open to either, I don't know, but I don't think you could go wrong with a gas car. I mean, if you're going to buy a brand new car and you're going to keep it for 20 years, you may want to consider something else. But if it's a secondary car or a secondhand car, Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
Right.
Call in a car salesman angel. They'll help.
Yes. Oh, that's a great idea. And
Or a
I've
mechanic angel, something like that knows.
okay, here's Harley. Anyhow, yeah, let us know how things work out for you, Gina. I'd be curious. And MCB00 is up next after Harley, but here's our friend Harley saying, uh, he asking about communication, interaction, friendship, relationship with his special person. Okay. All right, wonderful.
Okay. So is Kiss Horses the special person? Okay, maybe.
I think she's talking to KK about a horse.
Oh, okay. Good. I don't want to
Yeah.
be trying to find the wrong person.
So Harley, are you in a relationship at this time, or are you looking? It sounds like she's saying my special person. So it sounds like this is about an ongoing relationship.
Okay.
Ah, I'm getting it's a lesson. It's a lesson in slowing down. It's a lesson in I guess it's more compassion and sort of compromise, learning to compromise and learning more about communication. Um, you know, not Dr. John Gray, the Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, he has brilliant information out there on the internet. And if you have a chance to look into some of his work, he really gives very practical language about how women think, speak, and understand, and how men think, speak, and understand, and just the awareness of how one message goes like this and it comes in and it says something different. It's really amazing, and it's an education in understanding what the other person might be hearing when we say certain things, and the way that they think. It was a vital piece of information and knowledge and a growth spurt for me. So I would look up John Gray.
So Harley, what your spiritual team is showing me is they're showing me you going towards the right. So the right to me is the future. You're going to the future, but the path, instead of being like the ground or cement, it's a patchwork quilt. It's very wide, and all these patchworks are there. And I see that as you're trying to travel this, it's not square and even like my pictures. It's patchwork, so it's all different levels. And I see that this communication style or that interaction, the friendship is confusing you a little bit, and you're kind of treading water. You're carefully walking ahead on this path, afraid that you're going to misunderstand something, that you might misread the situation and maybe make that special person mad, and the your team thought that this actually might be an exciting adventure for you. So this uneven communication or this unevenness that you're experiencing, they want you to kind of embrace this a little bit and have fun with it a bit. Not Don't be quite so walking on eggshells here, because this is also supposed to be kind of an adventure for you. So I don't know, maybe develop a few kind of one-liner things like, "Oh, did I get that wrong? Or did I misunderstand that?" Or, you know, own up that sometimes navigating this particular path can be a little bit difficult, but it can also be fun. So
Yeah.
laugh
Yeah.
at yourself a little bit.
That sounds good. Harley, when I tuned in, I saw you, and then the other person was on the other side of what looks like a bed sheet, but it looks like it was hung up on a clothesline or something like that. So there's a bed, there's this flexible, not very thick barrier between you, but there was a hole. So you were communicating through this hole in the bed sheet, in the sheet that's hanging between you, this thing that's kind of blocking clear communication. And I thought, okay, I'm getting that. And then they showed me in a different way, and it was you and the other person doing tin cans and a string between them, like maybe you did when you were kids. And that so it's like, yes, you're communicating, but it's not as clear and it's not as instantaneous understanding. And it's a little like, am I listening or am I talking now? And those kinds of things. It's a little clunky right now. But if you can just, and then I saw the hole in the sheet getting bigger and bigger with time. So I feel like just your awareness of this will help you clear things up. And the advice that Jean and Terri gave is wonderful. I also drew some cards, and I got from the Feathers deck the nuthatch saying, "Stay grounded and welcome a new knowledge and a new knowledge and perspective is coming to you." So you're going to get to a new perspective on this person and the way this other person thinks and processes and communicates. And it's like, oh, okay. And the nuthatch, of course, is the bird that can walk up the or down the bark of the tree. And then from the tarot deck, I got the the 9 of Pentacles. And that's this wonderful woman in her garden with all these pentacles. And there's vines and grapes and everything there, very prosperous. And she has a falcon with a little hood on it there. So everything looks good, but the falcon has the hood on it, so it can't quite do, it can kind of just sit there right now. It's not going to go out and do what it's meant to do and be on the hunt because it's hooded and it can't really see. So that's just another indication that everything looks good, but there's work to be done on the communication side. Yeah. So I hope that was helpful. Let's see. I think Harley said that message, the sense of humor was for you. Okay. And definitely has a sense of humor. So great. Wonderful. Let us know how that goes. All right. MCB00 is next, and next up is Heavenly Blessed Honey. So let us know if you're still around. Okay. Is there hope for your relationship with JL in the future? All right. Let's see what we can find.
So, MCB, is this like an old relationship, or did you have a relationship with this person in the past? Is that what it sounds like? And that you want to sort of rekindle or get back together? I'm it's not easy to say, but I feel as though that's water under the bridge. Either the opportunity has passed or the energy around the beginning or the opportunity has passed. I think that he is a viable candidate, but I don't think that he is or they are a I feel like it's more you, MC. I think it's that you need to look for somebody who is much more interested in your thoughts, your feelings, your passions, your you know, I feel as though this other person is a little bit self-centered, a little bit, or maybe busy in their career, or they're just not paying as much attention to you at this time. And I feel as though that for you, um it's you'll even if you did get them, you wouldn't be happy. You know what I mean? It's not that the relationship isn't there, is because the energy isn't there. So if that makes sense. So it's the energy, it's not just the relationship. And I know that there is somebody out there who you will rock their world, and who will you will be their everything. And this is the energy that is around you, and is going to suit you. You have such deep love, such compassion, such empathy, and you really deserve to have this back, and somebody who is loving and tender and caring enough to reflect that back to you. And there's nothing wrong with this person, JL. They're very, wonderful person and lovely. It's just that that something else has their attention, and it could just be their family or their job, or the world. I don't know, but their attention just doesn't seem to be focused on you. I'm sorry to say, MCB, but
Oh,
the ladies could have a different outcome, and hopefully they do.
yeah, I don't think so, but
Yeah.
um, so MCB00, I had a really hard time reaching you. And in fact, when I finally reached you, all I got out of, because usually they kind of show me a path, and I got a really strong, flat granite paver path, kind of. It was hard and a little dim. Um, and so I what I'm getting from this is that, yeah, this is not going to rekindle. But the good thing is that this path is good. It's straight. So to me, that says that, you know you got some good things going on here. But it also kind of says to me that you need to lighten up just a little bit. That maybe you're taking this a little too seriously. Um, there is someone out there for you, and oh, okay. And when you find them, it's like this whole, because I'm kind of seeing a cold, wintry scene. It's almost like suddenly the sun comes up and it's spring again. So I think that person, when you find the right person, is going to kind of open you up. You're going to open up. You're going to know. You're going to feel better. And it's just like Jean said. JL is not. There's nothing wrong with JL. There's nothing wrong with you. This is just not quite your thing here. But that's all right. We live to learn, and to learn who our good matches are. So
Yeah. When I tuned in, I was asking the pendulum, and I got a yes, but then what I saw in my mind's eye was I heard, but not now. And I saw like a Valentine, part of a Valentine heart with a doily on it. And so that meant not now, maybe in February, but it wasn't the whole heart. It was just part of it. So then I went to the cards and I got the vulture that says, accept the inevitable, let go of the past, and welcome a rebirth and let a rebirth begin. So maybe there's some letting go there. And then I also, from the tarot deck, got the chariot, which is moving forward. And I think these two go together in terms of letting go and moving forward with your own life. And maybe in February, he or she will look up from the whatever is distracting or whatever that person is focusing on now, and might think, oh, maybe there was something there. But I get the idea there's more strength in the chariot and you moving forward than in the half of the Valentine heart. So I guess I agree with what Jean and Terri were saying, that it's probably best to let go and move forward and see what happens that way. I'm sorry that wasn't a happier outcome. But in the long run, it probably will be for you. So we wish you the very best. Okay. Heavenly Blessed Honey is next. Wants a message from her ancestor, whose name is Hagen Mantheson. And Carolyn Adams, you will be next after Heavenly Blessed Honey. So just give us a thumbs up or let us know that you're here too. So let's see if we can get a message from Hagen Mantheson.
You know what? I missed. Who was this? Is this a friend?
An ancestor.
Ancestor. From quite a time ago, I think, if I remember, I saw like 18.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So I feel like he has a good attitude. And I feel like he's like greeting you with good day. And he's saying almost like, if you want to come to chat with me, I'm open to chat with you. He's being very cordial, very proper, very pretty. He's open though, and he wants to communicate. But he's quite proper, and he says we when he's talking. He's like, we are available for communication, and he's saying that it's amazing to watch from this side the development and the evolution of our lineage and how things have progressed. He said, and it was such a simpler time. He said, we knew of future generations, but it was all such a dream. It was all just a thought, like a spark in our minds of what our future generations may think about or have. Or he said it was we were very much in the now moment, but it is lovely to be able to see the progression and the outcome of the lineage from this side. But he's saying that it was not considered as much in that day or in our day, he's saying. But he's really proper and polite and smart and communicating, very cordial, like as if we were, coming into somebody's living room and sitting down and introducing ourselves for the first time. He's interesting, really neat.
I would call him stoic. He's a little stoic, proper and a little stoic here. But the first thing he said to me right away was, man, you guys travel fast. We only had, the horse and the cart, and you guys really move fast. And he is amazed by that. He's amazed that how well you keep your, well, he calls them senses. And what he really means is just you're being able to think through things. He says, I can't even imagine how well you keep your senses going with all that rush, with all that movement, with the ability to travel so fast. And he's really drawing me to the stoic side of him a lot, because he what he's trying to tell me is that that's something that he's passed on to you. This is part of, I think, a cultural thing. He culturally grew up with this, and by being stoic, it gave him time to think things through and be very logical with things. And so I think that's what he's trying to remind you, that he's there all the time, as Jean says, because he said, remember what Jean says, which is distant. Time does not equal distance. And he's just saying that he helps you a lot with that, helping you with your little bit of logic, and not getting too excited, and he does seem to worry a lot that your senses don't get too goggled by all the fast travel. So that's what I got.
Beautiful. When I first tuned in, I got him being a little more friendly because he was just so thrilled, just proud and happy that you remember him and that we're speaking his name out loud and that you're so insistent on spelling it right. That he's remembered. But then almost right away, he kind of took me into his living room and was talking about, I come from a time when things moved more slowly and we had the time to sit and contemplate and think things through. And yes, there were lots of chores and things that had to be done in a way that's so much easier now, but still there were the times when we could kind of sit and think. And he invites you to come into this living room that has like a bay window or something, and you're looking out onto the trees and just kind of, what is it about water? Or just thinking deep thoughts and kind of coming up with ideas out of the stillness. And he said that could be refreshing and rejuvenating for you. But he also was saying that he was drawing the distinction between genetic families and then soul families, and said we are part of both. We're family in both soul family and genetic family, and that's not always the case with genetic families. So yeah, he's very, very honored that you're remembering him and asking about him. He invites you into a conversation in the quiet times, and he'll be there. And yeah, I'm kind of getting chills. He seems wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for introducing us to him. Okay. And Carolyn is up next. And KK, if you're still around, let us know if you are still here, because you'll be next. Oh, let's see. Heavenly Blessed Honey was saying, wondering if what he thinks about how much we look alike. Let's see.
I didn't ask him that
I
part.
didn't get that. I'm sorry I missed that. All right, so let's talk about Carolyn Adams' grandfather, Kurt. Does he have a message?
Wow, he comes through pretty fast, and he says, "Make hay while the sun shines, girl." He's like, um, don't let the sun set without getting a lot of things done. He seems to, want you to complete some things. And as I'm kind of asking him, like, what do you mean? Is there anything particular? He's like, she knows what I mean. She knows what I mean. And, okay, is there, Kurt, is there any way you can help her? He will keep sending you energy to help with this. That's what I got.
I got literally the same thing. I got he was telling me to live life to the fullest and to get he wants you not to let any opportunities pass. He wants you to try it all, experience it all, enjoy it all. Enjoy your time here, explore and go on adventures. He's saying that he only wishes he had the amount of time that you have because he feels that I feel like he either didn't have that long of a retirement or he continued working even after the retirement age. He was still working, but he said that life is to be enjoyed, it's to be experienced, it's to be the things that you can learn each day is new things that you can learn and to develop. It's almost like that's the richness in life. And he's saying that it was important to work on earning money and whatever his side job or his retirement gig was. He said it was something that made him happy, but he really does wish that he only did things did things more for himself and to enjoy himself. But he's liking what you do, and he's um, encouraging you to continue and to have fun.
Wonderful. When I tuned in, I think I saw him. He had a kind of a black felt hat on, sitting on a stool, and he had a long pipe with like a big bowl at the end. And the look of the pipe made me think British Isles somewhere, England, Ireland, Scotland, something like that. And he was being very thoughtful. And in picking up on the last reading, he said, yes, it's true what you say about contemplation, but the quiet times also led to the opportunity for moroseness. What is that was the word he said, contemplation, but left time to brood. So he's warning against that it's, yes, take time to think things through and kind of slow life down a little bit, but be careful of the moroseness or brooding too much. And that's when he started talking about keeping busy is a way to keep that at bay. So yeah, it's take your time to think things through and everything, but always have something to do to keep your mind from going to the dark places and that type of thing. I don't know if he either suffered from depression or had people in the family who did, but he just knew that was kind of the black dog to beware of, and took steps to keep that at bay. So I hope that makes some sense. Oh, here he is. He worked until later to allow a young man to go to war. Oh, he died within a year of retirement. Oh, that's rough. Yeah, he was a hard worker. Wow. And he sacrificed for whatever war that was in the war effort.
Right. Oh, she has a little bit more there.
Oh, let's see.
He did have a pipe.
Okay, and a uniform cap. He was a Yankee, but very British. I know exactly what he's talking about. Okay, great. Wonderful. Thank you for that confirmation, Carolyn. All right, next up is KK, and after KK, it's Diane G. So just give us a quick hello, Diane, if you're still here. And KK says, may I get advice from my spirit team on if my highest good is to keep my yearling horse, Little One. I had a psychic tell me to sell her, but days after, I started getting visions of me barrel racing with her. Okay, so is it in KK's best interest to keep Little One?
So, I don't know anything about horses, but I feel like it's a difficult situation because it would be okay with you either way, but for KK, it might be better if KK goes to a new family, somebody who really loves them and could maybe their only horse. I'm not sure if you have other horses or but it would be okay if you kept a little one, but would it be okay for a little one not to experience that new experience of being the only horse for somebody? I do feel as though there's somebody out there that is sort of like their little one's soul match. Um, and like I said, but it's a hard decision because you would be okay either way. Um, and I think little one would be okay either way, but there is an opportunity out there for little one to uh, interact with a new soul that
So
may need little one. Oh, go
yeah,
ahead.
I'm getting slightly different information, but basically, right away they're like, you have absolute free will on this. If you want to keep her, keep her. If you don't want to keep her, don't keep her. But I'm just seeing a little bit about little one that she's a really nice little horse. Um, Around her head, for some reason, they're putting um, pastel Easter egg colors, like a little bit of yellow and pink and purple. And like, so I think what this is telling me is that this horse has a good mind. Um, and I think that would help her being a good barrel racing horse because they got to get in the game. Um, Unfortunately, I don't think there's really a message here other than, whatever you want to do. That's kind of what they're saying. And remember, just because a psychic tells you one thing, it doesn't mean that is actually the future. The future can change. Maybe suddenly after you got that reading, your horse got like extra nutrition and now has developed its brain and body, and now this is a great thing for it. So I don't know. That all I'm getting is it's your decision.
She's my alfalfa queen.
Oh,
She always has alfalfa around her mane and the rest of her under her head. Oh, funny. Well, KK, when I tuned in, right away I saw a little horse kicking up its back legs, and I heard the words "kicky bitey." And Kicky Bitey was the farm name. I've got friends who they raise thoroughbreds, and they had a horse, and their farm name for the horse, it wasn't the fancy thoroughbred name, and they're like low level thoroughbreds, but they do raise thoroughbreds. And they called it Kicky Bitey because it kicked and it bit. But it was spirited. It had great breeding. It had everything it took to be a good racehorse. But Kicky Bitey, I don't know if Kiki Bitey didn't get the right training or the right attention or what, but it never panned out because she was just so Kiki Bitey. She was just kind of obstreperous. So I think they showed me that because it's like, yes, that the horse probably needs special handling to deal with its own personality, to bring the best out in the horse. It would need perhaps a little bit more training or a little bit more personal care than just your average, I don't know, quarter horse if it's a barrel racer. It can do it, and it would probably be very good at it, but whether you keep it or somebody else keeps it, just be aware of that it might this the spirit that she has to be trained and managed in the right way for the best possible outcome, either as a racer or as a pet or whatever. And just don't walk around the back of her too much.
So,
Anyhow,
KK, did you used to barrel race with a horse that has passed away? Only because I'm not seeing that little one wants to barrel race, but I think that you might be picking up on a past life of this horse,
Oh,
and this horse may have, because I'm not getting that they want to barrel race or that they want to barrel race with you, but I feel like you're picking up on them. But is this the past life for a little one? I feel like this is a reincarnation of a horse you used to, yes, a black horse named Dan, and I used to barrel race on. That's who it is. That's why you keep seeing that. You are a psychic, KK. You are an animal communicator. And this is Dan telling you, don't you remember barrel racing with me? It has nothing to do with a little one. It has to do with Dan. I feel like it's a reincarnation of Dan. Absolutely. I get chills head to
wow.
toe. Chills head to toe. Woo! That's powerful. All the way down my legs.
Well,
I
feral
just
horse needs good legs, so
that's why you keep saying it. And because you're psychic, because you're an animal communicator. And this is
oh,
you're picking up on the past life of little one.
That makes perfect sense. Wonderful. Well, I'm glad we got that all worked out. Thank you, Jean.
yeah.
Okay. We have Diane G, and then our last one is going to be Amber A. So, Amber, let us know if you are here. Diane G, if time permits, how can I protect my mom from black magic being done to her? I gave her my lapis lazuli, asked Archangel Michael, but I don't know if that's sufficient. Let's see. Oh, what came to me right away was something that a really good psychic said that she does. And what came to me first is I heard them saying, "We have this in hand. She's going to be fine." And then I saw this necklace that, and if you can find like a little round mirror that's like a necklace that you can wear around her neck, that's a way to reflect that energy off, and it would be helpful for her to have something physical to remind her of that. A really good local psychic said, "Oh yeah, she started using that. It was very helpful to her." But otherwise, they're reinforcing what you've done, calling in Archangel Michael. Keep your thoughts high and keep her in white light and see the bubble of white light around her. But having that physical mirror reflecting anything low vibe out would be a good physical thing for you to do for her if you can find something like that. Anything reflective.
Yeah, I'm only getting a very small amount on this one. That she is safe. I think the mirror necklace is a great idea. The only other thing that they're kind of bringing to my attention is she might want to get um, some obsidian or even black tourmaline and put it in the house, but not in the bedroom. Do not sleep with that in your bedroom, either one of those. There, it's just a little too harsh. But it would be something that would make her feel maybe a little bit more protected. But she is protected. You got Archangel Michael. He's the best.
And Diane, I'm not sure, other than the things that Terry and Joan has suggested, there's much more that you can do, but your mom herself can denounce and reject anything that is not of the highest vibrational love light vibration, and from the angels, and just herself ask for the angels to protect her and surround her, and that nothing else but the highest love light vibration be able to be around her. But it's up to your mom to have that mindset, and that belief, and that sort of not an announcement, but a declaration. This is my boundary, and that's it. So I'm not sure if your mom is able to do that, or if she is in a state where she cannot do that. But you can talk to her higher self and have her higher self make that declaration. Yeah.
Also, I remember hearing someone who was doing like clearings of ghosts and things, and they said to get a St. Bridget's cross and put that in the house. And depending on what your mom is open to, that's something else, just kind of physical to reinforce that. You can just look it up online, what a St. Bridget's cross looks like. Wonderful. Well, I don't know if we heard from Amber A. I don't think so. And since we're right at an hour, I think we're going to leave it at that. But this has been great. It was really nice to have to be able to get to everybody's questions, and I had such a great time reading with you. Terri, tell us where you're going to be next.
Well, my next gig is going to be on the 17th and 18th. I am going to be a vendor at the Metaphysical and Wellness Fair in Ocean Shores, Washington. So if you're around there, come on down. I don't even think they charge anything to get in, or if they do, it's no more than $5. I'll be speaking each day. On one day, I'm just going to do mini readings like what we do here, but in person. And then the next day, I will do an Akashic healing. So I don't know what exactly the healing is going to be about yet, but last time they had me do this, it was about anxiety. So I'll be there. It'll be fun. There's lots of good vendors there always, and you can book me for a little mini reading then, but it's super fun.
And Jean, how about you?
On Saturday, the 17th, I'll be on with Kelly, the Mystic Next Door. I'll be on her channel at noon, and then I'll have Terry Renner. Holding Your Space is going to be on my channel on Saturday in the afternoon. So that's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that.
Wonderful. Well, thank you
you,
both.
Joan?
Oh,
how
well,
about you? Where are you going to be?
I'm going to be. I'm not going to be on again, and for a couple of weeks, I don't think. This week, got busy with other things. Oh, but people may have noticed that I've got a bandage on here, and I wanted to let you know I'm just fine. And I'll tell the story I told Jean, that this is it's just a little sprained wrist, but it was the luckiest sprained wrist ever. I was pulling on something while doing some household chores outside. I was standing on the patio pulling on this old soaker hose that I wanted to untangle, and it broke and it sent me flying. But I feel like the angels pushed me off the patio and onto the soft grass, where I just kind of sprained this a little bit, rather than if I would have fallen on the patio, I'd be in traction right now. So I didn't break anything. Everything's healing up fine, but it's the first time I've ever been grateful for spraining my wrist. So that's what that one's all about. But anyhow, I wish you all wonderful blessings, and we will see you again soon. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Joan.
Thank you, Joan. Bye.